Hello, I'm Doug, and this is the Taste and Sensibility channel, and you have arrived at episode number 8. We'll just continue from Christmas. Episode number 8 of wine tastings. And I'm going to have a very short burst of wine tastings here because I joined the Wine Folly Wine Club. And I get 4 bottles every month, and some of them are going to be interesting because I've never had some of these things before. And then I bought an orange sparkling wine on my own, and I bought, I don't know what the fourth one's going to be, but something interesting I picked up recently. But I wanted to do this one because it's a white that's going to disappear soon. And I'm going to do the online tasting with the Wine Folly Club very shortly, and I don't know how much I'll have after that. So I'm going to do this now. So if you like the content that you're seeing here, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave comments and questions down below. Share it with friends. Subscribe to the channel and click on that bell to get notified when the new videos come out. So this particular one, okay, let's go back to the Wine Folly Club. This isn't sponsored or there's no endorsements or anything, but I am a big fan of Madeline Paquette and her Wine Folly book, her Wine Folly YouTube channel. And they started a club where I seem to be getting $20 to $25 wines every month for 4 of them, $150. And it's called mixed. It might be any combination of white, red, sparkling, rosé, anything like that. So there's like $50 of curation involved in each of these shipments every month. And they come very well packaged and easy to get. And they also have they have an all red option for 4 wines, and they have a 6 bottle option for more money, which I don't want to pay. So I used to do this myself and go out and get interesting wines from small producers that didn't appear to be mass produced. And it took quite a bit of time and lots of interpretation in the wine aisles of different stores. So I am glad to let them do it for me. And now I've got to process and taste and understand about 4 new bottles every month. So that's what's involved there. So I tasted this once before. I'm tasting it again. I took notes on it in my Wine Folly journal. And the Wine Folly Magnum edition of the book has the wine Grüner Veltliner as one of the grapes, and the 2/3 of the book is about grapes. And it gives various notes that are common to all these wines made with this grape. And then the actual shipment comes with something very specific to this producer and this wine production. So it tells you, oh, it was a dry season, and they picked it at this date, and they fermented it this long at this temperature, and 12 hours contact with the skins. Lots of details, lots of nerdy things that I typically like. So it appealed to me that all the data is available for that. So I'm just going to go ahead with the tasting here. And it's only one thing at a time, so it shouldn't take very long. I don't need water in between. I don't need crackers. So we're going to go ahead with Madeline's Wine Folly method and look at, nose, and taste this white wine from Austria. The maker appears to be Weingut AM Berg, with someone's signature down below. It's from a little town or village called Mittelberg in Austria. The grape is Grüner Veltliner, which is here on the label, and Kamptal might be a region or a geographic region, a big valley, something on the side of a mountain. I don't know, some region known for wine or grapes. So it says Kamptal DAC, like that's some sort of appellation or controlling body. On the back it says 12% alcohol, 12.0, and a 2021 vintage. So I'm gonna turn this down a little bit, and I'm just seeing a fairly pale yellow. I don't think it's medium. It's lighter than that, and there's a little condensation on the glass, which interferes a little bit. I think in the overhead camera you can see it's pretty light in color, and not dark at all, and I don't think it's gold. I don't think it's a platinum. So very easy to see through and rather light in color, even for a white. So I've got previous notes from one tasting I did before, and it was chilled then. It's chilled now. I just measured the temperature at 50 degrees. I measured the temperature, the pH at 3.7, which is average for whites or reds that I've seen. Yeah, I've got all my tasting notes that I can go back to. So I'll just dive in. Kind of a lemony lime, no, more lime than lemon. Fairly typical white wine smell for a more aromatic variety. I think this one is. It's not all that different than Sauvignon Blanc. But there's a few extra things there. I think I got baking spices on the nose before, and I'm getting a tad now. It's a mixture though. It's hard to pick out any one thing. But that's the character of the aroma. Yeah, behind the lime there might be something softer. A mango, a peach, pineapple maybe, but very soft. I'm not really getting sweetness to go along with those fruits, but they're fruity notes. They're lighter fruity notes, you know, yellow and orange things. And it's possible there's a melon in there, but my nose is getting tired. Already running out of smells. This has been out of the bottle about 10 minutes. Oh, yes, I pulled it out with my Coravin Model 1, which sends a needle right, well, okay, go back one. This had a screw cap on it, so I pulled it off and put on a Coravin screw cap that has a rubber septum. And that's how I took out my first sample of wine. So it has not been exposed to oxygen other than minimally on changing the caps, which I'm very conscious to do quickly without disturbing the air around there to not introduce oxygen. Then I stick the needle through the new top and pour it out. And that volume of wine is replaced by argon from a capsule in here. So should preserve it indefinitely, depending on how much oxygen gets in through leaks or mistakes or errors or changing the cap manually out in the open. Oh, there's some tart, kiwi-like fruity aroma too. I just went back to it without a fatigued nose. So lots of fruit popping out of there, but I can't say there's any sweetness associated with it. Okay, that's it on smells. Let's start tasting. Wow, it's fairly bright. Tastes like a good bit of acidity, and then all those fruits are all in there in a big gamish. And there might be baking spices too. Wow. It's a tartness that hits before the fruit flavor, so my whole mouth perks up. Due to acidity and no tannins to speak of. It's not on the skins for very long, and there's no oak in the processing. So it's just those fruit flavors. And they're zingy. It is a bit of the lime and mango and kiwi and some kind of melon. And it fades out with a spicy-ish finish. It's not like pepper. It's not like spicy. And then there's little flashes of green vegetal things here and there. Oh, I think they actually called this green in color. Let me see. I didn't notice it until they said it. I didn't notice it myself the first tasting. I thought, yeah, appearance clear, yellow, green. And I'd have to say, yeah, I can sort of see how someone would say that. So that was kind of surprising. It did have a greenish cast to it when I finally looked at it well. So this is a nice, light, I'd say it's almost a medium body for a white wine. Light is not quite the right term for it, but it's refreshing, it's fruity, it's dry. And I was going to read the notes I got on my first tasting. It was just a few days ago, 5 days ago. My aroma notes were lime, lemon, gravel, baking spice mix, banana, corn. I love corn. And smoke. So those are just things I was trying to come up with everything I could possibly get out of my nose. And Madeline always says try to get 3 fruits and then 2 other things on your nose. Keep pushing, keep thinking, keep going, let your nose rest. Go back and do it again before you start tasting it. So once you taste it, that stuff's all over and you won't get nuances as much on the nose. But I was surprised at banana, corn, and smoke when I kept pushing. And there is smoke mentioned in the notes here. And then palate, I said vague fruit, pear maybe, pear. Not sweet, not tart, not bright. So today I did describe it as a brightness. So a medium body or tiny bit, almost no tannins, more acidity than tannins for sure. 12% alcohol, I don't really feel it, I don't taste it. It's just a good tasty wine. And then the sweetness is way down low at the bottom. So this is very pleasant and very surprising to get this combination of flavors and aromas. And I kind of surprised myself with the corn and smoke notes that I got on the nose the very first time. So I always think I don't have a good nose, and maybe it's not so bad. So this was an interesting inclusion in this month's Wine Folly Club shipment. So I am looking forward to the group tasting that we're doing in a few days, and I'm looking forward to the next shipment. And today's wine verse is from Genesis 27. May God give you of the dew of heaven and of the fatness of the earth and plenty of wine and grain. Thank you for joining us today. Watch for the next one, and cheers. Very good.